Give me a few minutes of your time, and I'm going to share a concept with you that if you are willing to practice it, and more importantly, truly embody it in your life, it will save you from a lifetime of suffering as it pertains to you doing what you need to do to actually create a life that you want to live. And I know this because I am speaking from personal experience. And to give you more context, several years ago, back in 2013 or 14, I was cut for the final time in the NFL. And my time playing the game that I had always loved, the only way of life that I had ever known, officially came to an end. And when I walked away from the game, I had not a damn clue on not only what was next, but I didn't know who I was from apart from the game. And so what followed was really a very long identity crisis where it honestly felt like I was being ripped apart limb by limb. And on top of that, I was battling an addiction and I was also getting ready to file for bankruptcy. So you can probably imagine that I was drowning in a sea of shame because while I had spent my entire life chasing a dream, I had absolutely nothing to show for it. I felt like a colossal failure. And on top of that, I felt like a colossal fraud because every day I was using all of my energy just trying to perfect this facade and manage this image of being a success. And every day I just felt like I was living a lie. And that created so much internal pain that I had to start coping with it in really unhealthy ways. And I got to this point of realizing that okay, as much as I want to point the finger and place the blame and say the issue is out there, I knew the issue was in here. I knew, even though I was probably arguably the least self aware person you've ever met in your life, I knew that I knew that nothing in my life was going to change unless I made a change. And that's ultimately what started this decade long inner healing, inner growth journey that I have been on. And I have completely reinvented myself and also reinvented my life. On the other side of this journey, I am now a full-time keynote speaker. I literally stand on stages in all different types of organizations across all different industries, associations, and conferences, and I tell my story and I get paid a lot of money to do it and inspire people along the way. And so I fully reinvented myself and fully reinvented my life. And as I look back on this journey that I have been on, it's taken a lot of work. It's taken a lot of healing. It's taken a lot of different modalities and different people that have come into my life that have assisted on this healing journey. It's just taken a lot. But when I look back at it, when I peel back all the layers, when I strip away all of the noise, and I get really clear on what took place, more importantly, what was the concept or the belief or the mindset that has allowed me to go from here to here. And it has become so increasingly clear to me that there is one concept that if you are willing to practice it, it is going to save you from endless amounts of suffering. It is going to be the difference between you surviving your life versus you expanding through your life. And I don't know about you, but I want to expand through my life. And so here it is. Let me break it down for you. When we set out to change our lives, when we set out to grow, when we set out to become who we need to become so that we are capable of stepping into what life is preparing for us, right? We oftentimes start here and we want to get here. So this is where we are, but this is where we want to be. And for so many of us, we have these ideas and expectations. We can see where we want to go. We can do it clearly, right? I want to become somebody and I want to start a business. I want to do this. I want to do that, whatever it might be. So this is where we are and this is where we want to be. And then we deploy the willpower, the grit, the discipline, and the determination to do it, to make it happen. And all of those are necessary and really good and important things. But oftentimes what we do is that we try to get life to submit to our terms. We try to force the change. We try to make it happen. And the concept that I want to offer you is this idea of power over and power with. Okay. A lot of times when this is where we are and this is where we want to be, we try to live with a power over life mentality and mindset, and it doesn't work. We try to submit life to look how we think it's supposed to look or how we want it to look. So we try to get life to submit to our terms, and it doesn't work. It might work temporarily, but in the long term, it doesn't work. right? Because that keeps us in control. And at the end of the day, when we are trying to stay in control of our life path, in control of our life journey, we are trying to do everything that we can to ultimately avoid vulnerability and uncertainty in life. But vulnerability and uncertainty is exactly what we need to actually grow in life. And so we use all of our energy to try to get life to submit to our terms, try to white knuckle it into submission so that it behaves how we want it to behave, so that it looks like we want it to look, and so that it feels like we want it to feel. And eventually it comes to an end. And that's power over. And most people spend their entire lives trying to live with a power over mentality. But power with is different. Power with is a completely different way of moving through life. It's not trying to get life to submit to your terms. It's you saying, hey, I'm going to participate with the ongoing evolution of my life. And power with is what allows us to move through life and to see the setbacks, to see the unmet expectations, to see the pain, to see the failures, to see the mishaps and the mistakes, allow it to mirror back to us what we need to see so that we can grow at a deeper way and at a deeper level. And what happens when we are willing to live with the power with? We move through life, and yeah, things aren't going to go the way that you hoped or imagined or expected them to go. Things aren't going to feel like you hoped, imagined, or expected them to feel. And that's okay. Life is always going to be mirroring back to us the raw materials, the fear, the setbacks, the pain, the insecurities, the self-doubt that we need to see so that we can actually grow in a deeper way. And when we do this, now we are going to be willing to participate with the ongoing evolution of our lives. More importantly, we're going to participate with the ongoing evolution of our identity. Because here's the hard truth that we have to accept. This life that you want, yes, I believe it's fully possible, but it is not possible by who you are today. It is not possible to step into the life that you want by remaining who you are today. And this is just the hard reality that we have to accept. Because if who you are today could create the life that you would want tomorrow, it would have by now, but it can't, and that's okay. And life knows this, and life loves you too much to keep you who you are and where you are. And so when you participate with life, you are saying, hey, I am signing up for a curriculum that as I continue to do my best to move life forward and it doesn't go according to plan, and uncertainty hits, and failure hits, and mistakes hit, and all of these challenges that I'm faced with, I'm going to allow you to mirror back to me the deeper inner growth that needs to take place so that I can evolve at an identity level and become who I need to become that's actually fully capable of stepping into the life that I want. I'm telling you, if you can adopt a power with mindset as you move through your journey, as you move through your life, and you allow what is to be the teacher that you need, you are going to begin to do the deeper work that actually allows you to become who you need to become, that is fully capable of stepping in to what life has prepared for you. It's not always easy. It's never going to look like how you hoped or expected it would look, but that's the point. How else are we going to grow? So just to simply recap, most people spend their entire lives with a power over mindset. We try to get life to submit to our terms. We try to force and control our life into existence, and it never works. And it is going to result in a lot of tension, a lot of resistance, and ultimately a lot of suffering in your life. So instead, you want a power with mindset. Move through your life. And when life doesn't go as you hoped or expected or as you planned, that's okay. It's going to mirror back to you the deeper growth that needs to take place so that you can now begin to heal and evolve in a deeper way, changing who you are, how you see yourself, how you see the world, how you think, how you behave, your essence, your energy. It's transforming your entire interior landscape so that you can now become who you need to become that's fully capable of stepping in to what life has prepared for you. Power with is the way forward. I say it all the time, and while nobody can do this journey for you, you do not have to do it alone. And I am so glad that you're here.